Do you guys see this hole that's right here? It's actually directly underneath the greenhouse where all my ducks and geese are living for the winter. And well, I have this special endoscope that I can put into the hole and actually find out with certainty what's living down there. And so in today's video, we're going to do just that. But first, we're gonna have to release the Kraken! I'm actually getting started on farm chores a lot later than usual today. It's also gonna be unseasonably warm for November today. I think the high is going to be 74 or something. So unfortunately, this scope that I have is one of those cheapos. And unfortunately, it doesn't actually have like an SD card reader. And so I'm going to need to basically videotape what's on the camera feed with my phone so that you guys can see what's happening. What more could you ask for from the cheapest endoscope you could buy from China online? Now, I will also confess that the animal that I'm most afraid of discovering in here is a rat. While we traditionally haven't had rats here on the farm, earlier this year we had a situation where there was like one rat wandering around the farm. His name was Templeton. But despite the fact that it seemed like he had superhuman rat powers and he was able to escape a trap, I eventually was able to catch him. And since then, I have not seen any signs of rats whatsoever. But you know what they say, if you have one rat, you probably have 100 rats, which is actually a very disconcerting statement. So one of the things that is cool about this camera is the fact that it has like an LED light, so we can go inside a dark place like this hole and actually see. Dogs are barking. Toby dog, what's the matter? What's over there? Something over there? I don't actually hear anything. It definitely has Toby's attention. All right, let's journey into the center of this hole. Well, would you look at that? It's not actually showing me anything. Well, it looks like I've hit a dead end. And based on the depth that I've gone in here, I've only gone about yay deep, and I'm really not seeing too much. So I guess number one, I'm not sure how useful this camera is going to be. And number two, I have no idea what animal's living inside there. But there are actually a couple of other places around the farm that I'm gonna test this out today. So come with me as we continue to do farm chores. Well, I guess on the good news front, we do have two duck eggs this morning. Looking around, I don't necessarily see any others. I can't actually eat these duck eggs because I'm allergic to duck eggs, which is a fact that I discovered after buying 40 ducks to raise ducks for eggs. I know, I would call that quite possibly my very first farm fail. And so I won't eat them, but either I'll use them as part of the dog's food, or I'll give them to my wife, or I'll give them to our neighbors. So they do get used, just not by me. How are my goaty Otises doing this morning? How are you doing, boys? Huh? I got treats for you. You know you love these, right? Here, we'll start with the specialty. So you can see right here, I've left this pumpkin out for the goats. Okay, I know you're most excited about the alfalfa, but you also like pumpkins. This past summer, I grew a whole bunch of pumpkins in our greenhouse. Please get down, Barnacus, you're getting rude. And the pumpkins were gonna be mostly used for animal feed. What's nice is pumpkins are actually a natural dewormer for goats, and actually a lot of other animals. And so over the last couple of days, I've been giving them a pumpkin a day as part of their parasite treatment plan, because when you have goats living in a confined space like this, they just run a much higher risk of parasites. All right, guys, let's see if I can coax you inside here. And I'll go through the human door. And yeah, I've been trying to train them to come in. It seems like Barnacus and Telemachus have figured out how to come inside. Here, guys. But Larn is still learning. I don't know if it's just that he's bigger than the other goats and so he has a hard time getting up the ramp. I tried to actually install some cleats to make it easier for him to climb up, but I don't know, he still seems like he's having trouble. Can you figure it out? Come on. He was up there for a second. See if we can't coax him in. Hey, Larn, come here. Come on, Larn. Come on. Come on, Larn. Excuse me, Larn. You can't figure out how to turn around now? Come on, you got it. Hey, good job, Larn. Here, come join your brothers. I think that he's gonna eventually get the hang of it. I'm still just working on getting them used to this space and living in here. But I gotta say, I think it's gonna make a perfect home for them this winter. And so just trying to get him used to coming up and in here, particularly for when we have inclement weather, because you know, this will be where they can get out of the snow and the wind and the rain and all of the awful nastiness that winter can throw your way. These weathers are not built for bad weather. So I just came out here to do a check on the chickens, and I noticed that I have one chicken that got loose. But even more troubling is I've got baby B, who's my heifer, out loose, wandering around the permaculture orchard. And that right there is how so many of my trees end up getting damaged. Like you can see that chestnut tree right by where Baby B is. She likes to rub up against them and knock them over. So we're gonna have to convince her to go inside. First, let's catch you. Come on, let me catch you. Come on, girl. Back with everybody else. Now that she's back where she's supposed to be, I can jump in here and feed everybody. Excuse me, guys. Food, food. Now I'm gonna hook you guys up with some fresh water. Hold on, let me first rinse this out. Come on, chill out. There you go. Yeah, given the warm temps, I'm keeping the chickens out here. Still in the process of integrating my flock so that I have all these birds form one cohesive flock, and for the most part, they've all fit in. You can actually see our new rooster. Still doesn't have a name. Maybe Brewster, because I kind of like Brewster the rooster. I think that's funny. But if you guys have names for this Barred Rock rooster, who's right here, who's actually a very friendly guy. He's the one who came from my friend Danny over at Wicked Awesome Gardening. Let me know your name suggestions down in the comments.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
It's showtime. And now we've got to go catch Baby B. This should be relatively easy because of really pretty much all of my cattle other than Macho Man. Baby B might be the best trained, and so I should be able to coax her to come with me pretty easily. By the way, would you guys look at this chestnut tree? It is magnificent. I planted it in 2017, and I was actually supposed to get chestnuts this year from it. And I had 3 different burrs, like little chestnut seeds growing. And then suddenly I came out here one day and they were gone. I'm pretty sure some sort of bird took them. And so that was extremely frustrating. But I know I'm gonna get more chestnuts from this tree next year, so fingers crossed. By the way, I'm gonna do a big tree video probably next week, so stay tuned. All right, let's see if I can call her over. Hey, Baby B! Come here. Come here, Baby B. Come here, sweetie. Yep, she's coming. You can see her. She's slowly but surely coming. Come here, Baby B. Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy, girl. Easy. I know you're excited. I actually prefer it when she comes slowly versus rushing at me like that, because that can be kind of terrifying. I feel like you guys haven't had a good chance to check in with Baby B lately, so this is your opportunity. Even though you've been naughty, girl. So she was born on our farm last year. She's a heifer, so I kept her separate this year so that she wouldn't get bred. But next year will actually be when she gets the chance to get bred with Macho Man, because she's actually not related to Macho Man. Now, before I get you moving, can I brush you? You love to get brushed. Get some of these Klingons off you. You're a messy girl back here. And in case you're wondering, her actual full name is Beatrix Potter, named after the author. Her mom is Amanda Hugginkiss. Next year she'll get bred, and then that means in, I guess, the spring of 2026 is when she'll have her first calves. Oh, you're such a sweetheart. Yes, you are. All right, let's walk her up. Come on, Baby B. Convincing her where to go actually isn't that hard. I actually have this stick more for my safety in case she tries to get a little too close. Back up. Easy. Not too fast. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Nice and easy. Come with me. Good girl, Baby B. You're now back exactly to where you're supposed to be. You are a good cow, or heifer, I should say. Now, the one thing I am wondering is, where is your best friend, Alice B. Tokless?
I love you, Alice B. Tokless.
Let's see if we can find her. Oh, baby Alice! Baby Alice! Oh, there she is. She's way in the back there, doing her thing. So while Baby B might be my friendliest bovine, other than my bull, I think Alice is probably my least friendly. She's very standoffish and she doesn't like me very much. And I can also see that I've got one of my other cows escaped. I'm gonna have to go catch her in a couple minutes. I can see Belinda Carlisle on the other side of that fence. I think she's happy to be reunited with her best friend. So it seems like Baby B, who's actually never really spent much time, maybe a little bit of time last winter, but she doesn't really know Belinda all that well. But she and Alice are best friends, but she's just curious about who else is here. Pretty soon, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks from now, I'm gonna be putting both of these girls back in with the rest of the herd right at the time that I'm pulling my bull out. Just it's how I keep my breeding cycles to the right window of time for next year. Why are you 3 weirdos so fascinated with my side-by-side? Come on. Go back in with your moms, come on. So here you have actually 3 of our 4 calves that were born this year. You can see our 4th calf in the back there. Her name's Betty White. We got Betty Rubble, we got Belle, And we got Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We actually had 2 male calves, or bull calves, born this past spring as well, but unfortunately they both died a few weeks after birth, which is one of those things that goes on my list of farming bummers that has happened this year. So now, right around this time last year, Baby B, who you guys saw earlier, she was basically about the same size these guys are. These guys are starting to get a little bit more used to me. They're still not all the way there, but we're getting closer and closer. Unfortunately, I think I forgot my brush back down the hill, so I won't be able to try to brush them again today. But I've been working with them slowly but surely. They are a lot more friendly than the Charolais cows. So the Scottish Highlands are the ones with the horns. The Charolais are the big white ones, and Buffy is actually also a Charolais. She just has some of the buff genetics in her. Buffy, what are you doing? Come on, go back in with everybody else. Yeah. Hey, cows. Come on, cows. Fresh grass, come on. Come on, Macho Man, lead the way. Hey, cows. Fresh grass, come on. Hey, cows. Come on, fresh grass, come on. And actually, Belinda, who you see right here, 1 year ago, she was about Baby B's size. 2 years ago, she was about the size of Betty and Belle. And now she's actually breeding size. You can actually see her sister, who's about the same age, right there. She's also in breeding age and breeding size. So they've been spending a lot of time with Macho Man, my bull. And so hopefully the girls will produce some babies this coming spring. So Allison's cousin is getting married this weekend, and so we're gonna have to leave the farm for a couple of days starting tomorrow. And so I'm actually giving the cattle an extra large paddock for grazing right now. I'm gonna show you in a second what that looks like. So it's actually about 4 times the size, so it's only like 2.5 days. Basically, this is about as much as I would give them over the course of 4 days, and I just do this to make my farm sitter's life easier so they don't have to move the cattle. All they have to do is make sure nobody got out, as well as make sure that everybody's got water. Honestly, when it comes to the farm sitting, if it wasn't gonna be cold this weekend, and I think it's gonna potentially drop down below freezing again, I could in theory just leave the cattle for 3 days in this type of setup, and well, I might be a little bit nervous and I'd wanna have somebody on standby to check on them. I wouldn't necessarily have to have a regular farm sitter if I really didn't want it. That feels really stressful because I would just be constantly wondering, like, was there a problem with their water? Was there a problem with the fence or the charger or something like that? And so I don't think I'll ever do that. But in theory, that would be something that works. Hi, Abby dog. What have you been up to? Ooh, you got more burdock on you. I know, it's just burdock. It's just burdock. I took off the burdock. Wait a minute, was Abby the one that got skunked? So last night, Allison and I actually went out to dinner with some friends, and when we drove back home and got home, we noticed, like, as soon as we got into the dooryard, that it just stunk of skunk. And my first concern was actually Pablo Barncat, because Pablo has gotten mixed up with skunks in the past, but it wasn't him and it wasn't Ginny. And I checked around and I didn't see any evidence of like any real problems. It was just somehow a skunk sprayed like around the farm somewhere. Like, I'm just noticing Abby has like the tinge of skunk, like not strong like she got hit, but yeah, even up here after petting her, I can smell just a little bit of skunk. So she probably didn't get really a direct spray, but she was in the general vicinity and she might have caused that Grodiotis to spray her, which is, yeah, why she might be just a little smelly. But the truth of the matter is, if you have an animal that gets sprayed by a skunk, you will most definitely know it. Okay, this is one of the things I was looking for. So do you guys see this hole right here? It was pretty much a hole like this that I broke my toe on back in September. Yeah, I'm actually curious. There's actually a second one over here too. You can see it. Like, it goes down here. And in fact, if I was going to give you a full-on origin story, back when I was resting up from my injury, one of the ideas I had was to get one of those endoscopic cameras and try to use it to see what's inside these holes, which is precisely what we're going to do right now. So come with me, my friends, as we journey into the center of the earth. Oh, wow. I'm able to get really deep in there, but I'm not seeing anything. Of course, part of that might be because the camera is covered with mud. Well, you can see I'm going in deeper and deeper. Well, it doesn't look like I'm finding the woodchuck that broke my toe. This is kind of interesting to look at. I think the biggest problem I'm having with this camera is the fact that the lens keeps getting covered up with dirt, and so it actually makes it hard. Abby looks about how I feel about this entire experiment. Abby dog, what are you doing? You just tapped out? Yeah? You're like, look at me, I'm so smelly, come give me love. Oh, poor smelly Abby dog. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're definitely at least got a little bit of tinge of skunk. Not really bad, like not enough that I gotta give you the tomato bath, but Allison would definitely not let you live in the house right now. Well, I guess this was a total bust. So today is actually the day that I go back in and I get to check my trail cameras and see what's been going on out in this part of the farm. which is an experience I always love doing. Now, the good part about these types of trail cameras is that they are solar powered, and so I pretty much never have to change these batteries. Like, I'm actually looking at it. Like, they still have pretty fresh batteries where I could probably leave this out here another couple of months without having to change a thing. The only downside to these cameras is the fact that they don't actually connect to like a cell phone signal. So I can't get like a live feed of what's going on, but it is pretty cool to go in here and watch. Let's see what we got. That is really cool. I hope you guys are enjoying seeing this, and I'll be back again real soon with another video, but thank you for watching.